And this, my friends, is the tomato mozzarella. You guys got to try it. Don't forget to get the Buffalo Mozzarella. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell. All right, friends. For this is going to put an end to all of your Buffalo Mozzarella or just plain tomato and mozzarella cheese. I'm using a Buffalo Mozzarella, which is so much better texture than cow's milk. But use whatever you can find, okay? This brand I love. I find this at Whole Foods. It's called Buff, B-U-F. It's really, really cool. I don't know anybody else that makes the buffalo milk. I'm sure there's some other brands out there, but this is a really good one. Okay, so for this, I am going to need 3 knives. I'm going to need a slicer. I am going to need a slice knife for my tomatoes. And I'm going to use a paring knife. I kind of like to use this little paring knife that's got teeth in it. It's really, really cool. All right, so I have my mise en place. When it comes to, I got my cheese here. I have my tomatoes. I have my caramelized onion. Oh yeah, this is a recipe in there on our website. You guys got to make this. This is like, you'll never serve tomato mozzarella as an appetizer without caramelized onion after you make it one time, I promise you. And then we're going to make a little pesto oil. And the pesto oil is just pesto with the olive oil. And I got this beautiful basil olive oil that is amazing. It's so fragrant, it's really, and it goes perfect, right? Because pesto has got some basil in there, right? So we put a little bit of pesto in a bowl, right? A little pesto in a bowl. And then we're going to put a little bit of the oil, and this is what I call pesto oil, okay? Very simple. This is, I mean, of course, it's to decorate the plate, but it's also because it fits beautiful. You know, I never put anything on the plate unless it belongs on the plate, okay? So I got my pesto oil ready. I got my caramelized onion that we already made. Now I'm going to cut my cheese. And usually Buffalo Mozzarella comes in water like that, you see? And the reason why I use buffalo milk is because it has a unique texture. It's creamy. It's sexy. Okay, it's amazing up there. Yeah. So you can buy them small also. See, look, small little balls like that. And they're kind of cool. You can do this with small tomatoes. Like you take a nice plum tomato, cut it up little circles like that. You can almost make a bite of it. So this is really, really good. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it. I'm going to get it all ready to go. And I'm cutting it very, very thin, okay? You can go a long way with very thin. I'm going to make a nice plate with about 3 slices of tomatoes. So look at the texture of this shit. So you want to make sure it's nice and thin. You want to make sure it's nice and thin. Look how beautiful that is. Look how beautiful that is. You see? And it's very fragile. It's not like a rubbery at all. You know, when you get that cheese made with cow's milk, it's very watery. I mean, it's very rubbery, not watery. Rubbery, right there, rubbery. This is like it'll melt in your mouth. We're gonna keep that here, right there, right? We're gonna clean our surface, so we're ready to go. What I gotta do now, next, I gotta cut my tomatoes. So the tomato, I don't know about where you guys live, but it's so difficult to get good tomatoes. So this tomatoes, I know it's going to be okay. I think it's going to be okay. It's a little soft. This one, I'm telling you, I went to 3 stores trying to find some tomato today, and I'm having a heck of a time doing them. This is a big one, but I guarantee this is not going to be too hard. So we're going to try. We're going to try. The people in New Jersey got fabulous tomatoes. Have you been to New Jersey? Let me tell you, if you can find New Jersey tomatoes, yeah, you get them. Let me tell you, sometimes some of the grocery store here locally have New Jersey tomatoes. They're amazing. I don't know why they taste better than regular tomatoes. I hate when I cut a tomato and it's yellow on the inside. It gives me nightmare. Look, I'm going to remove the core. I'm using my paring knife the same way. Look. Look at this. All right, we're going to see what happens. We take our offset deli slicer knife. And now going to be a real pretty tomato. I hope you get better tomatoes than me. I hope you get a better tomato than me. Let me see if I can get a better one. It's going to be the same. It's going to be the same. We may have to deal with it, okay? You just find better tomato than me. They're going to be the same. Look, see? See right there, look. You watch. You watch. You watch. It's just too soft. No good. Mamma mia. If we can't get it, they're going to be the same. Same deal. So you know what? You'll have to just excuse the tomatoes. You get good tomatoes, okay? Don't do like me. Just get better tomatoes. But you get the idea. It's just about the presentation, okay? This is not too bad. Not too bad. We're going to hide it. All right? Let me clean up. All right? So then we have a clean work surface. I always have to have a clean work surface. And you know what I do with those tomatoes, folks, right there, the one that are not so good? I freeze them, and when I make my beef stock, I keep them. I don't throw nothing away, okay? I don't throw nothing away. All right, so I'm ready, right? This is called mise en place. Boom, 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 ready, right? What we're going to do now, one more thing. I'm going to decorate this thing with a basil chiffonade. And a basil chiffonade, I picked a few leaves earlier. I can use those. A basil chiffonade. Oh, look at that big leaf right there. Is when you want to take a basil leaf, right? You take the biggest one you can find, and you put it in the bottom, and you put the other one on top. Okay, put the other one on top. Boom, 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 right there, and that's called a chiffonade. Chiffonade comes from the word chiffon in France. In America, we say chiffon. Chiffon. It sounds fancy, right? Chiffon. In French, chiffon means a rag. So we're ragging it. That's what we're doing. All right, here we go. We're going to roll it really, really tight. Okay, friends, you see the way I'm doing it? I'm rolling it super, super, super tight, right? Super, super, super tight. Like super, super, super tight. You could smoke it at this point. No, don't do that. This is smoke it very tight. And look. Look, I'm putting my knife in right there, and I'm barely going to move my knife. Meaning I'm going to cut it so thin. You see? I'm going to cut it so thin. This is called a chiffonade, you see? It's called a chiffonade right here. Nice and thin. All right? So we got a chiffonade. So I got my chiffonade. So now I have my mise en place. Now I'm all ready to go. So if you're going to do this, I have one more thing that I need to get. Is the little spatula. Now, when you're ready to serve dinner or serve the appetizer, this is an appetizer, then you got to have your whole thing ready, your whole mise en place ready, okay? So, now, we're going to put the pesto oil. Then we're going to use a 28-year-old balsamic vinegar and put a little bit of it around it. And we're going to put our tomatoes. On top of the tomato, we're going to put the mozzarella. On top of the mozzarella, we're going to put caramelized onion. Oh, don't let me forget, fleur de sel. Oh, we're not here. Fleur de sel and black pepper. Don't let me forget. Yeah. Like you're going to say, hey, don't forget. All right, here we go. Pesto oil, friends. You take your pesto oil, put it on a plate. Don't worry about it. Don't be too fancy, okay? Doesn't need to be fancy. Just needs to look pretty. Right? Then you take your balsamic vinegar. This is a 28-year-old balsamic vinegar. So it's out there in ages. Right? And then you take your tomato.
Oh, yeah.
Mamma mia. Don't look at them, okay? Just don't look at them.
Oh, yeah.
Don't look at the tomatoes. Don't look.
Oh, yeah.
Here you go. Hurry up. You do this quick. See? There you go. What can I tell you? There you go. Now we're starting. Now you don't see the tomato anymore, right? So now you're going to take the caramelized onion. And let me tell you, friends, I'm not exaggerating it. This has to be one of the most amazing condiments you can put on a hamburger, on a steak, on a piece of fish, on a mozzarella. I promise you, I'm not exaggerating it. For those of you that have had my caramelized onion, and there's a lot of you out there because I make them all the time, you know what I'm talking about. For those of you that have never had it, call somebody that had them. They'll tell you. All right, okay. So how am I looking so far? I'm looking pretty good, right? Pretty simple. Very simple. You notice everything is simple, right? You can do this. Everybody can do this, right? Now I'm going to take my chiffonado basil. Very little, just like this. Just a little bit of chiffonado basil. Okay, very, very little. Now be delicate now. Okay, it's no big deal. Just a little bit of basil, right? Right there. What do you think? What do you like it? I like it. Hey, look what I did. I leave it there, otherwise I'm going to mess it up, right? Okay, so at this point, couple of more things we can do. We can take a little bit of the basil olive oil, because remember the cheese is going to be very happy with a little bit of basil olive oil, right? Just a little bit, right? Just take a little bit of the basil olive oil right there. Yes, sir. Right there. Look, 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 look. You see, this is finishing the whole thing. Oh, yeah, baby. Just a little bit. Like, remember, less is more. Less is more. Yeah, less is more. As I say that, I'm putting more. Okay. Now, one more thing. Fleur de sel. Fleur de sel. You know, I could have put a fleur de sel on the tomato. Okay? Matter of fact, do that. Don't do what I just did. Put the fleur de sel on the tomatoes. Okay? Right? And pepper. And black pepper. Okay? And black pepper right there. Right there. Right there. Look at this. Yes, sir. Right there. Now that, my friend, that's a tomato mozzarella. You go ahead and make it, but try to get the buffalo mozzarella. It's fabulous. Don't forget to subscribe so you see my next video.